Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Friday's Patching Podcast. Me and Wendy would love to welcome you here today. I am Laura Balzer. I'm an executive director with LifeWave, and my co-host, Wendy Morgan, is a senior presidential with LifeWave, and we're very excited to be with you and talk to you about some incredible stem cell technology. And you are about to hear some incredible testimonies. We have some phenomenal pictures to go along with them. So sit back, maybe grab a pen and a pencil. You might want to write something down. But before we get started, I want to let everybody know that all LifeWave products are not intended to cure, treat, diagnose, or prevent any disease. If you are pregnant or nursing or on medications or have other medical conditions, please consult with your physician first. Our patching podcasts are for educational purposes only. So with that said, I'm going to continue to let people in, and I'm going to turn it over to Wendy so she can get started with our amazing testimonies. Wendy?
Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. It's June the 10th. Hard to believe it's more than a half the way through the year. My gosh, this year is flying by. Tonight, we have some beautiful stories, and I'm going to have not only my dearest friend, Sharon. She is going to not only share some stories about her, but she has acquired some really brand new friends to her that which she has helped and turned on them to the patches and how they have really changed their life. So Sharon, would you please introduce Sally and John?
I will. This is John and this is Sally, and these are my friends. And this one over here was falling apart when I met him. And so he asked me what these were. And I said, they're life changers. And that was my answer. And John, why don't you tell him your story? Start from all the way from the heart issues.
Oh, well, if you go back that far, then that was about early 2000. I had congestive heart failure. Then I had a colon resection where they took out 3 feet of my colon all in the same year. And it was a tough year. Then I just went through the motions, what they said to do and how to do it. And it was miserable, but I got through it. Then I worked, still working, and I just, at one point, I think in 2009 or 10, somewhere around in there, I did some stupid something, I don't know what, but it's usually something stupid when your back goes out, but I had a sciatic, it just, I could feel it start, and it went across and went down my leg all the way to my toes. And it stayed there for about 10 years. Never went away.
Neuropathy.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I couldn't even feel the right side of my leg or my foot. And then let's see, when was it? 14, 15? No, it wasn't even that long. It was this year. I met you.
Oh yeah.
Just a few months
Just a few months ago.
Yeah, I just was looking at Sandra. I didn't know her name at the time. She was cutting the grass.
I was cutting grass next door.
And I said, I went over there and said, hey, you know anybody that likes to clean houses? Well, the next thing I know, I got a hook in my nose and she's drugged me into the house. And all of a sudden, the house is transformed into something unbelievable. And she gave me these, she said, you need to start taking these patches, X39 and X49. And I did for about 2 weeks. All of a sudden, in less than 2 weeks, I could feel a difference, a big difference. And I just kept, doing what Sharon said. And then she gave me these energy things. And Lord, I can't even get up and make it through a day without those babies.
Yeah, we have this little thing, huh, John, where we put our arms up and show everybody what we're doing. Yeah. And then he's hooked up his friends with this as well.
To what now?
He said you've hooked up your friends with it.
Oh yeah, I told everybody. They said, what in the hell are you on? They said they never even ever heard me that.
It's a big difference.
You know, I was up, I was moving, doing. Usually I was sitting down, just, moping around.
He was walking like Frankenstein. I promise you, it was almost like he had lead weights on his feet.
I did.
And he dragged his feet everywhere he went. And I said, you need to try these because this man, I'm not kidding you. And like you said, I cleaned his house. I threw away hundreds of bottles. I'm telling you, hundreds of bottles of every holistic thing he could buy. He's like, I'm going to try that. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try that. It was all over his house. I'm not kidding. And I could fill like a dumpster with the amount of things he had in here for holistic healing. And he said, this isn't going to work. Nothing works. 10 days later, he goes, what's in these darn things? I said,
Lord have mercy, these things are really doing something to me. I mean, I've never had that much energy. I mean, energy to get up and go do something out of just sitting down and just doing nothing. And I've been out working in the yard again, just doing everything that I can possibly get back to doing. And the worst thing about having the instability of neuropathy is you don't have any stability. I mean, I could barely walk across a room, and if I tripped on, something on the floor, I'd probably fall down. Like in 2021, I fell 14 times. Just boom. But at least I somewhere down the line learned how to fall and not get hurt, or at least avoid dangerous places. But it still hurts, and it still have to get up and get back to.
But you haven't had that problem since you've been patching.
No, I haven't. It's like I know where I am. I can feel the bottom of my feet, my toes. I mean, they're a little bit out of sorts right now, but they're getting better. I put the patches on. I put the area on. I put all those fancy name things on there.
He's patch happy. But he was really unstable when I met him, and this was the thing. And he also was supposed to be on blood pressure medicine because of his heart, and his doctor didn't believe him. And he went to the hospital for pancreatitis. We patched him up when he got home, and he got better in 2 days.
Nope.
It was 2 days. And his doctor didn't believe him he said, you have to be on the heart medicine. And John said, I'm not doing it. I'm using these. And so the doctor made him take his blood pressure, record it, and call him. And his blood pressure was perfect every single time. Woo! Absolutely perfect.
Even today.
Even today.
It was almost too low. I don't even believe I've ever had blood pressure that low. 102 over 60.
It was 121 over 68.
Oh, 121. I thought
it was 121 over 68. And the doctor looked at him and said, well, and I was there with him today at the doctor, so I'm here to attest.
Yep.
He said, well, John, you seem to be doing pretty well. I guess we're not going to have to put you back on the heart medicine. Yes. And I got to witness that. So, and I texted it to his wife because she was here watching the dog. And
it was,
yeah.
I hate to say it, if you don't learn to know your body, you're going to get in big trouble. But, taking all those hurt, that's why I fell 14 times in 2021, is because I was taking those prescribed carvediols, and my blood pressure got too low, way, way low. And every time I'd stand up, I'd start going, whoa, getting sort of dizzy. And I'd have to sit back down and sort of pump up my blood. Putting these patches on, they just moved me right through the day.
That's right. So here was John's feet when I met him.
Hold it there for a little bit. There you go. Talk
He had
Sharon.
really bad fungal problems, as well as this incredible swelling. Neuropathy was so bad. And now I'm going to show you a picture of his feet. Hang on a second.
I didn't know you were a foot person.
I'm not a foot person, just for you.
She wears many hats, John.
And this is his feet. I'm trying to make it close here. Okay, I'm trying to make it so y'all can see it. There you go. Can you see it?
Yeah, just bring it down a little bit more. There you go.
This is John's feet 1 week later after using the
Oh my
patches.
gosh.
That's amazing.
So, and that's when he said, "What's in these things?" And I said, amino acids, salt, water, and sugar, and light and heat, and God. And he goes, "I'll take it."
I did. I mean, I read a little bit about stem cell stuff. And your body sort of got to learn how to remanufacture to keep, your body back in optimum shape. But whatever these things do, they do it well.
Yep. And
Sharon,
thank you so
Sharon?
much, John.
can you show the first photo again? Victoria wants to see it again.
Yep. Hang on. I got to get to it.
She's got 27,000.
Yeah, I really do, because I'm like, every week I was like, "Ooh, John, look at your feet," I was, and even my kids who are not, heavy believers in these patches said to me, "Wow, John's really done some great improving in this last month."
There you go, guys. I got it, Sharon.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah. So there you go, guys. There it is, Victoria. And yes, we will post these on Telegram.
Oh yeah, I will definitely share them. But he said he's 70 years old. He said he feels like he's 50. Sally has gotten rid of her hip pain using them. She was sitting in the couch a lot because she's sitting kind of in a crooked position to take the pressure off her back. And
Yeah, I used to have a lot of back pains and arthritis in my back, but the X39 and the X49 have really helped me there.
Well, she was a teacher for 40 years also, so she had to stand up for
all day, every day.
Yeah, all day,
pretty
every
much
day.
all day.
Yeah.
John,
And
if
I
you
also
don't mind-
use the
I'm sorry, I
SP6
Go ahead.
for my belly.
Yeah, she's using that for some other patches for belly problems too, which are eliminated now since she's been.
Beautiful. What kind of belly problems did you have, Sally?
Basically, it was diarrhea.
Oh, okay.
all the time.
Oh, gracious. That could be rather severe. So, and that's now resolved.
Yes, it is.
Excellent. X39 and of course some of the other supportive patches help that out, right?
Right.
Right. And John, if you don't mind, how young are you?
I'm not young, but I'm 70. I just turned 70 in February.
Excellent.
But I feel 20 years younger. Two
I'm
years
68.
ago, I would have said, open the doors, I'll be there soon. I just didn't feel, I had no energy, no stamina, no anything. Just there.
God
But all
bless
this
you.
stuff has helped me. It really mentally and physically, and
His cognition is
emotionally.
greatly improved too. And he's not fatigued like he was. And he's out there mowing the lawn, doing the weed whacking. He's gone out to lunch with his friends, which he hasn't done in a long time because he didn't want to drive because he couldn't feel his feet. So driving was only a necessity. And then, the improvements in them both in just a month has been so stunning. I wish I could make like a little short, live reality movie of it. It's been crazy.
I guess I was so far at the bottom, I didn't have anywhere else to go but up after taking these patches because they worked in
Immediately.
2 weeks. I felt the difference.
So you both have been on the patches a little over a month, but you felt results within 2 weeks, John?
Yes. Maybe even sooner than that. I think I even felt it maybe a couple of days after I
I
started
did too.
the X39.
Oh, beautiful, Sally.
It just, the what's going on here?
So basically, it really helped your heart out, John, helped your energy, obviously, made you feel better. Neuropathy gone, pain in your back going down your leg, that's gone, correct? You were on loads of pharmaceutical medications, and I understand, Sharon, that the doctors kind of reduced him down to a
He
few.
doesn't take anything now. He's off
Oh
it
my
all.
gosh, that is amazing.
Doesn't take any medicine, and he's not taking a bunch of holistic pills either.
Well, that's one of the deals. I said, I hate to say it. I hope no one's got a doctor for a husband or whatever. But I think doctors, all they want to do is push pills. And I kept telling my doctors and every doctor, I don't need this. Yes, you do. You've got CHF. And I'm sitting there. I said, okay, just prescribe them all. I got 3 bottles. I could go start a pharmacy for Vadiol. I got about 600 pills. I don't know what to do with them. I don't even know if I can turn them back in.
Yeah, you can recycle them at the sheriff's department.
Anyway.
And Sally, to recap with you, Sharon, can you recap Sally for me?
So Sally had really bad arthritic back pain from being on her feet for over 40 years, being a teacher. And I asked her, why do you sit in the chair all the time, kind of crooked? And she said, because my back hurts. And she has blood pressure issues also, which I believe are pretty much resolved. Yeah. And she had bad stomach issues because she wasn't able to get up and exercise. So she would not drink enough, which was causing diarrhea because the pain was so bad. She just couldn't be moving. And I said, well, stick you, we're sticking you all. And we stuck them. And here they are, and they're both like incredibly better. I mean, it's just absolutely insane. Like this should have been like a live like reality TV show. Seriously.
My cousin said, what are you on? And I said, what do you mean, what am I on? I said, I've never seen you like this. And I said, nothing, I'm just doing these patches. And he said, well, what's the name of them? So I sort of gave him inside that, and a good friend of mine. I told him about that. Well, he came back to me the other day and said, I'm too healthy. And I said, what? You're too healthy? I said, what does that mean? He says, I don't need these things. Well, that's what I just let him, wallow through, whatever he has to go through until he finds out that he's going to need something sometime. And I'll have everything right there. Sharon's already talked to him once. I just, all you can do is do the best you can, and what shows what comes through.
Exactly. And those who are ready to hear will hear. Thank you so much, John and Sally. Now, but we also have one more, guys, for you. So Sharon's got a few updates that she just.
Yes, I'm just updating people. So evidently I had 4 ruptured vertebrae in my back. And here is my scan from 20. I'm trying to make it so you can see it in the camera. Okay, this is my scan of my back, and the black shows.
Let me share mine, hon, because it's
black,
right side up.
The black shows, thanks, Wendy. The black on my back were my ruptured vertebrae. And they told me the only way to cure them would be to have surgery and remove the extra tissue and fix the cartilage and whatever it is they do. And I said, no. So then I went, and I've been on the patches. At this point, I had the second scan done. You can bring up the second scan.
Okay, let me talk a little bit so you guys can see the scan, because others won't record.
Yep. So this is the second scan, and all the black is gone. Evidently, my vertebrae is not ruptured anymore. The red marks that is nerve issues that I have going on. But I will tell you, when I had this done, I was walking around an event carrying roofing samples on my arm for 14 hours for 3 straight days. So I would like to go get it done again, and probably won't have anything on it at all. I can touch my toes. I can bend my back. I can twist now. I don't have any of those problems.
She's really like a Tasmanian devil. She gets in place and
And 10 months ago, I was not even able to walk up the stairs in front of my house. So, and this is what I told both of them. I said, I was walking to my mailbox and I fell. And at the time, I was only 54. And I'm like, why am I falling? This is ridiculous. I used to be a triathlete. I'm very strong. I don't really have issues. And suddenly I'm falling in the driveway. I'm done. And I've been going to chiropractors. I have, taken 81 different medications they've tried me on. Nothing ever worked. I felt like I was just being a little drug head and I just didn't want to be that person. So I started with essential oils in 2009. I was introduced to this and here I am 10 months later and I'm the what?
Like a little Tasmanian devil. She will not stop. Once she gets in here, you better have your eyes wide open.
And then I have a 22-year-old dog. Her name is Sassy. I don't know if you could bring up the picture.
Yeah, I'm getting to it here.
And May 20th.
Now, what kind of dog is that again, Sharon?
She's a Pomeranian, and she is officially the longest living Pomeranian in the world right now. And
Wendy, you hold up the after. I'll hold up the before.
Actually, I don't know if this is a before or not. These are just.
That is the after, and
okay.
She has the before. Yeah, that is.
Okay, so hang on, Laura. Hang on, let Laura talk so it can go ahead and record it. So Laura, just say something.
So this is the before, Sally?
Sharon, yes.
Sharon. Yeah.
I mean, Sharon, sorry.
Yes.
And then this is the after. Okay, go ahead.
So on May 20th, my dog was peeing nonstop and I didn't know what was wrong with her. And my whole family is like, Mom, you got to let go. She's 22 years old. Let her go. Now I've been patching Sassy for, at that time, like 7 months. And I patch her every other day and I don't put it on her. I put it in her bed and where she lays at night. When I take mine off, I just put them there. Well, Sassy was completely blind. Sassy was completely deaf. And after 5 months, Sassy can hear me and see me. And she had a heart murmur and congestive heart failure. And so I brought her in the vet May 20th, put her down. I bawled for 3 days. I called Wendy. I was going, I'm gonna have to put my baby down, and I'm just, I was so upset. I was breaking everybody's heart around me, including these two. We're just like, oh God, this is horrible. I just could not stop crying. So I bring her to the vet and the vet looks at her and he goes, let me examine the dog. And so he brought her up on the table and he examined her and he goes, she doesn't have a heart problem. And I'm like, what? He goes, she doesn't have a heart problem. And I go, well, why is she peeing all over the place? And he goes, because she's old. Okay. And I said, so how do I stop that? He goes, I can give you something for that. It's all natural. Just give it to her for a week. This dog is way too healthy to put her to sleep. He goes, now I'll do it if you want me to. But if you don't want me to, and he goes, and obviously she doesn't want you to, this dog loves you and you love her. So stick it out. She might live to be 28. You don't know. He goes, what are you doing for her anyway? And I go, I put patches on her. He goes, what is that? And I go, stem cell rejuvenation. He goes, whatever works. And he goes, I'm not putting the dog down. He goes, do I need to write a note for your family? He goes, buy diapers, get over it, bring your dog home. So I called my husband and I go, ha, the patches worked. Sassy's fine. I'm bringing her home and she's not getting put down. So whatever, deal with it. And then I called these two and I'm like, because she was texting me probably every 10 minutes. Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Because I was broken. And Sassy's absolutely fine. And now she went on those little pills the doctor gave her for her kidneys and she's back to jumping around my yard. And she could see me even at night now. Like I'm walking at the end of the stairs, I got a light in my hand and she's going at me, wanting me to go pick her up. So, because she can't walk up the stairs. I mean, I'm going to give it to her. She's still imbalanced. He said she's got something called twilight dementia. And he said, she's 22. How would you feel if you were 148? Just saying. So my dog is home and she's still with me. And I just say, if your dog or cat have problems, I mean, seriously, have nothing to lose. And we're patching, and we'll catch you all up on this, but their dog, Chip, is completely blind. And we've been patching him now for 2 weeks or something.
Not very consistently.
And so not consistently, but we've been patching him, and he found his toy on the floor without us handing it to him. So we're thinking he's starting to see shadows or something. He's able to get to the back door. So we're thinking he's able to see light now, but this dog was, I mean, nose on the ground to feel his way around like a walking stick.
And bumping into things.
Bumping into everything. He's not bumping into things. He made it into their bedroom yesterday. He's made it around the couch to the door. And
we've changed the way this room is.
We've changed the room around so he's not familiar with the surroundings.
I don't know if it's learned or what, but I think he really has. I think he just got one eye that's a little askew. It makes his depth perception a little bit off. Anyway, he's getting better.
Getting better too. So
go ahead, Sharon.
We'll keep you updated. Yeah. Laura's gotta tell everybody what this awesome product is.
Well, you know what? Thank you for that. But I tell you, I don't know if anybody else on here feels this way. We're going to run over. Our apology. If you need to hop, please do. Get back with the person that invited you. But I mean, everyone is sitting here. I'm watching everybody's faces, and they or they're grinning, or they're crying in happy tears, or all the things. And when you think that the power of the patch is getting everybody on here so animated. And to be honest with the three of you guys, I would love to be a fly on the wall, just being around y'all, because I would get such joy from that, because the three of you together are quite a great piece of work. So thank you for being here with us today.
See that, John?
Sharing your stories. But I know our guests that are here are probably thinking, what is this? Like, what does this mean? You know, what do you have on? That's a great picture. I love that. That's awesome. So what they are speaking of today, you guys, is this little round patch right here. This is our X39, our stem cell activation patch. Now, they did mention a few of our supporting patches, but right now I'm going to zero in right here on this patch. And you're probably wondering to yourself, how in the world could it not only work on these amazing humans, but also a dog, right? It's because we're all born with stem cells. You know, when we're born, everybody, we're born with an abundant amount of stem cells. By the time we're 30, 35, we have maybe half. Then we move into being around 60 and a little over. And honestly, if I can be so honest, we really don't have much to talk about there, you know, because that aging process kicks in. And as we're getting tired, our stem cells are getting tired. So when we use this patch, okay, and we place it on the skin, it begins to activate a peptide in our body called GHK copper peptide, which is proven to activate our own personal stem cells. But how? Like, I know that's a huge question, how? And this patch works much like the sun does when we go out in the sun. And we've all said it for years, I'm going to go outside and get some vitamin D. Please understand that the sun is not providing the vitamin D. The light that is reflecting off of the sun and hitting our skin instructs our bodies to make our own vitamin D. This patch, because David Schmidt, our CEO and founder and scientist behind this patch, has found a way, like the sun, okay, when we place it on our skin, it creates a light frequency or a photolight therapy that reflects back towards our bodies that starts to activate that GHK copper peptide that I spoke of. And in return, activates our own personal stem cells. But again, you're asking how. If you'll notice in the middle of this patch, you'll see a little round white circle. In the middle there is a proprietary blend of organic crystals, salts, sugars, and waters. And that creates a perfect crystal lattice that harnesses that photolight therapy or that light frequency and kicks it back towards our skin. It is absolutely brilliant. And like you heard all of them speak today, they all started to get result at a different time, because why? All of our bodies are different. You know, we have a lot of people that get started on the X39, and we put them in the member of the one patch wonder club, right? Whether it's a great night's sleep, or it starts to alleviate pain, or possibly they don't really need that little cat nap around 3 or 4, or a cup of coffee, because it is starting to go to work. For a lot of people, it could be 3 to 6 weeks before they start seeing anything. For more people, it could be a couple months. You know, David has set a perfect time or a guideline for us to use, that he likes to say 1 month's use for every decade of life, or every 10 years of life, depending on what you've got going on. So that will give everybody a good idea of what they're looking at to get that total regeneration, rejuvenation that we're looking for. Because as you heard their stories today, you don't hear too many 15-year-olds complaining about that, or 20-year-olds complaining about that. It's only by the time we get to 30, 35, we've all done it, y'all been there. You get in the mirror and you start doing this, right? Because it's happening. You don't like it, but it's happening. Or the sleep dissipates, like I said earlier, or the pain comes in, or maybe we get sick and we don't recover as quickly. It's because the lack of the energy that our stem cells have. And with this patch, we're able to activate and stimulate and start to regenerate and rejuvenate the body. So I ask you, when you get started, be patient, be kind, give it a little grace, right? But David Schmidt, that I spoke about earlier, is the visionary behind this patch. You know, David started LifeWave in 2004, but right before that time, he was doing some work with the Defense Department, and the Defense Department had asked him, David, we need something for our Navy SEALs. We need for them to have stamina, clarity, energy. It was very important. These are the toughest men on the planet, and they need all these things, okay, without being amped up on caffeine and amphetamines and all the other things they could possibly take. And David went to work and came up with the energy enhancer. And that's what you saw Sharon giving you this. It's because she has it on her wrist. It's a 2-patch system. They still use it today. And I'm pretty sure probably about 3/4 of the people on this Zoom are probably having it on as well. So it's an incredible patch. But I want you to know that when you become a part of LifeWave and you start using these patches, rest assured that we have distribution sprinkled out through the world that accommodates the high demand of this patch being offered in 81 countries. You know, there is a 20-year patent just on this one patch. So I encourage you to go to startx39.com, and I'm going to repeat that in case you want to write it down. startx39.com, and that is an informational space for you to go to, where you can see all the clinical studies that David has done, not only by himself, but with other doctors around the world as well. He knows the importance about getting other people's eyes on things. There are patents back there. There are other doctors back there, as well as testimonials. So you will just get a raft of information that you probably are starving for. I know I was. But I do encourage you to get back to the person that invited you here and get with them and ask them the best way for you to get started using the patch, because we have a few ways that are built in to accommodate your specific needs, whether that is purchasing the product retail, taking advantage of our preferred customer program, which sets you up on a 6 months. If you don't want to think, you just want them to show up. But then the majority of our clients, because they do want to try some of the other supporting patches because they do have some things going on, like you heard these beautiful people speak of. One of our wholesale packs might be the best thing for you. But like I said, let them know what you have going on. Let them walk you through your options. Maybe you just don't want to use them yourself. You know, I can only speak for Wendy and me. When we got started, the number of people that started ramping or running in our heads that we knew needed this, we knew that we wanted to share this product as well as use this product. And we've been doing just that. So we have a couple wholesale packs that might work for you in that area as well. So with that said, I want to thank all of you for coming and being here and enjoying these testimonies. Wendy, do you have anything else you'd like to say?
I do. So if you liked what you saw today and you'd like to invite more people that you can think of, because after hearing this, like, oh my gosh, there's James or Susie, they could really benefit from these wonderful patches. This patching podcast actually is available Monday through Thursday, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And again, we'll be here next Friday as well at 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And for those of you that are already involved with the company, we do have a training podcast tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Other than that, we look forward to hearing from all of you, whoever want to share your stories. We put our number in the chat. And thank you so much to Sharon, John, and Sally. Really appreciate your testimonies are outstanding. And everybody in the chat was like loving your presence, saying, wow, it was amazing. And for those of you listening for the first time about this patch, get involved with the person that invited you to this patching podcast. Get your order going so that in about a month to 2 months time, we can have you on one of these calls where you can share your personal story. And so you can let everybody know how this patch is changing your life. With that being said, I love you all. You guys have a fantastic weekend and we'll see you here on Monday.